I asked you guys to be transparent, so I'll be transparent. About a week ago, I basically said to the team, like, this ain't happening anymore.
I lost all the footage, tragically.
I knew you.
Listen.
I knew you.
I actually forgot about that.
But I made a mistake. I didn't back up the backup. So
that probably triggered me a lot to start crying because that was the first day we had tears in the red room.
I need an episode. I need this. I need that. It's like, what am I doing? I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just park up and just take a breather.
Just looking at Phylisia's face, so she looks like she's gonna cry.
You want a tissue?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
What would you guys say has been the best day, the highlight, a moment that you just thought, oh, wow?
And another day that was my best was when we dropped the trailer. What?
Has there been that moment where you're just like, oh.
We thought our podcast doesn't get 100 views. Because it's still a step towards having good content.
Yeah.
Because even if it's on 90, if 70% of people that viewed it out of that 90 rated it, it's still a plus.
This is the Promisingpreneur podcast. I am Aahliyah Amerat, and today I am back with my people. I'm here with the team, Duanney and Phylisia, and yeah, as I said, we was going to catch up every so often, and here we are. Thank you for coming, guys. I mean, where else you going to be? It's filming day. How are you, love?
Not too bad, yourself?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
I'm good. You're looking good today.
Oh, thank you.
The blue.
I mean, I'm loving the fact that this is all blue, that's all pink, and that's all black.
Yay! Love it.
Was not planned.
At all.
I want to start with asking you guys to commit to being authentically true, right? You know, that's a theme of mine nowadays and always, because I want to ask you some questions and I just want you to be honest, no matter how...
Oh my gosh.
I know you wasn't expecting this, was you?
No. You had this plan all along?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
No matter how, rank it might be, I want you to be hella truthful, yeah? So, what has been the worst day whilst being on this team and doing this podcast? What has been the worst day where you just thought, feck, so far?
That's not nice.
Ladies first and gentlemen.
And it could be anything. Like, it could be to do with a team dynamic. It could be to do with filming. It could be to do with whatever. Just truth.
Oh my gosh, I actually got my one, you know. Shall I take the lead?
Yeah, go on.
Alright, cool.
Oh no.
What? I actually know what I'm going to say, you know.
Go on.
I don't know, I think we had a time where I messed up, made a schoolboy error. I think it was on the third week. I lost all the footage, tragically.
I knew you.
Listen.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that.
But I made a mistake. I didn't back up the backup. So yeah, I think that one probably pissed me off the most. But with that being said, I still had faith that it could be recovered. But I don't know, my hard drive just stopped working like drastically. So it is what it was. It was what it was. But I got everything recovered in the end anyway.
You did?
So,
Yeah, you did.
Thankfully there was light at the end of the tunnel.
There really was.
Yeah.
It was.
It was like, it was a good...
You know what's crazy? Let me cut you off
Go
quickly.
on.
Sorry. I didn't know how I was going to break it down to you. And I was thinking to myself, bro, I sat there. And I was like, how am I going to tell her that, you know, and she's in the group chat telling me, I need an episode, I need this, I need that. I was like, what am I going to do? I thought to myself, you know what, let me just park up and just take a breather. I did that, yeah. Then I called her first. I said to tell her, you know, what was going on. And then she was like, it's alright, it's not that. She tried to steer my attention away from the fact that it actually happened. But yeah, it was cool. It made sense in the end anyway, so.
I think that's what I love about Aahliyah. Like, when happens, she covers for us. Like, I think
she makes us see the good and the bad.
Yeah,
that's what the good thing is.
Basically,
I
actually forgot about that. That would definitely be my one thing, because I was like, that is it for me. that one, I was like, what are we gonna do? Like when she called me, because you didn't call me and tell me, as in Noah.
Sorry, my bad.
I was like, Aaliyah, what? Kind of thing. Because she was like, no, it's fine, it's okay. And I'm like, are you right? We've got like, how many episodes was it? Like 4?
No, we had a good,
Four, 5,
4 or
and I'm
5,
like,
yeah.
No, it was more than that.
I think, how many episodes are we in?
just 2. I think it was 2 or 3.
No, it wasn't 2, because the first...
3.
We must have been
everything
about
else-
3 episodes in, but it was the next good 6 or 7 episodes.
Was it,
Yeah.
Okay, I remember because we had Miles.
We had Miles, Taryn, Shane,
Phoebe.
Phoebe, and we had someone else. 5, I think.
No, we didn't have Shane, we had Phoebe though.
No, we had
I
Shane.
think Shane's one was already out.
No, we had to redo it.
I said that was void then. That wasn't on the card, but I remember.
Okay. Yeah, but it was still, it
So,
was
yeah,
a lot
it was a
of,
lot,
for
it was
me,
a
it
lot.
was still like, I was like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. My thing was like, are we going to get it back kind of thing? And that's the thing about podcast, right? Like, yeah, you can redo it over, but it depends on the guest wanting to come back, you
I
know?
think you can never really shoot something twice because what you get in that moment stays in that moment.
Exactly,
You're
you
forced
know.
to do it again.
Exactly, so.
But yeah, and it's just time, money, effort, making everyone clear up the schedules to come back down and reshoot it.
Exactly.
It was not going to happen, so I prayed, and you know, everything was recovered.
Do you know, funny enough, that probably wasn't like weirdly, I was quite calm in that
You was.
situation. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that was mine. Recently, obviously, has been mine. And I'll be, as I said, I'll ask you guys to be transparent, so I'll be transparent. About a week ago, I basically said to the team, like, this ain't happening no more.
Yeah.
We ain't, like, I can't afford to do the podcast because the reality is running a podcast is expensive.
It's not cheap.
Like, it's expensive, it's taxing, and it's like for the level that I've always wanted, for the level that we have started at, and for the level that I've told you about to always kind of keep. And I'm talking across the board. I'm talking from administration to filming days to editing to marketing to like the whole shebang, right? Everything across the board. I'm not a perfectionist, but it has to be on a very high standard. And if it's not going to be on that high standard, I don't want to do it. Because we haven't started nearly 20 odd episodes and then going to drop down in quality.
True.
Because, forget it. Just forget it.
Yeah.
Right? And then also the idea of like consistency as well, right? Because we can, what could have happened was we potentially could have like maybe dropped down on how often we done it. But then because we currently do every single week, we could have done maybe every 2 weeks, right? Because that would have then allowed us more episodes and not a lot of filming days. But at the same time, my thought process on that solution was kind of like, it defeats the purpose of consistency and what I've always, and the day that Dee lost the footage, that week when we lost the footage and I'd done a voiceover. Basically, I just done an audio podcast. We didn't do a visual podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was so adamant that we wouldn't miss a week. And I was like, if in that crisis, we're not going to miss a week and we're still going to put it out there, there ain't no goddamn chance that we're just going to drop it down to every 2 weeks. No.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to compromise on that. So the reality was that. So I gave you guys the lowdown on how I was feeling, but the fact that it was just too much to handle alone. And another time I would say that, oh, by the way, it's not stopping. And it's not stopping because after being completely transparent with my team, even though it was probably the hardest thing for me to do, they pulled through and came with the support that I needed at the time emotionally, and also just encouragement, which I appreciate. And that conversation even carried on to today. So, yeah, that was probably my hardest bit. And no, I was just looking at Phylisia's face, and she looks like she's going to cry.
You on tissue?
No, we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my hardest part.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. I'm not actually a crybaby, but
What?
I'm not a crybaby, but you think I'm a crybaby?
You cried at least, I think, 4 or 5 times since I met you.
It's true, but I'm not normally like that. Something I don't know. You guys.
Oh wow. Anyway. So yeah. So okay. I hear that. 2 distressing times. What would you guys say has been the best day, the highlight, a moment that you just thought, oh wow, like, damn.
Yeah.
Positively.
For me, I think, do you already know?
What?
So the day that Nissy T and Carloco came and they shared their story, like behind camera.
Oh,
that was the
okay.
best day.
I think you
was so inspired. Love it. That is a lie. That is a lie. They don't sound like a groupie. Anyways, the reason why I was so excited that day was because, like, I just hearing their stories, like, obviously behind camera, like, just hearing their stories and just engaging.
Strong, you know?
Oh, sorry. But I think, that was my best day. Like, it was just, wow, like, I was very inspired that day. Very much inspired that day. I think that's no, I was crying before that. Because I was about to say, that probably triggered me a lot to start crying, because that was the first day we had tears in the red room. But that day was just so inspirational for me. And another day that I loved was when we were creating the content, when we was upstairs and we were creating the content and you were taking the pictures and the videos.
Not that any of them surfaced.
None of them surfaced, but I loved it.
Didn't we lose that footage?
Actually, you know what?
No, we lost that.
Yeah.
You guys did?
Yeah.
Oh.
We lost that, and also he didn't like some of them, so he was like, no, I'm not putting this up.
Like it.
That day was amazing. And then
I think it was
another
at the early
day.
stages, no?
Yeah, early. And another day that was my best was when we dropped the trailer. What?
The day we dropped the trailer.
The day we dropped the trailer with our soundtrack.
You know what? I think,
man.
I think that was mine. When it actually got burst from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I think you put in the WhatsApp group the actual image of like the Promisingpreneur, so that was hard.
Yeah. Like, it became real.
Then, it became very surreal, so I was thinking to myself, like, it's go time. Like,
Yeah.
Literally, all on FaceTime is on joint WhatsApp conference. And then, you know, what's up for life now? We made our truces, didn't it? We just made our own, like, their prayers and whatnot.
Yeah, we did.
And we signed our contracts, hypothetically. It happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Technically, I haven't actually made you lot sign.
We don't need them.
No, we're going to need them later on.
Eventually.
Definitely.
We'll get there.
No, but it just shows why we did this.
I mean, the level of trust and dedication now without anything being there contractually, it's a good sign, because, you know, we're working towards something that we all actually have a passion for.
Yeah.
I guess you probably trialed us in a way where you've seen how everyone's putting effort and I can only assume everyone's putting in 100% generally. But
why did you look at me?
I look at her and you. I have shades on, so you probably don't see.
Allow me.
He's lying, he was just looking at you.
I know he's looking at me.
Well, you know. I like how everything's done thus far, so you can't complain. But yeah, for me, it definitely will be the beginning, when everything got birthed. So,
that was just, it's like a bird.
So would you guys say that from the moment we started to now, this is like a conversation that we would have like off camera, right? But I think it's really important for people to kind of see the true essence of being in a team, and like without there being like a without there being hierarchy and it being actually a team where we're all like on the same level and we have to work as hard as each other in doing whatever our bits is, right? And also stepping in for when someone is not doing their bit, kind of thing, right? So what would you say, or how has it been for you going through the motions of the months? Because there's been a couple times where a couple things have kind of happened where momentum's dipped, or we've like I've either dropped off, or like something has happened to break the momentum and break that feeling of when we first started. Has there been that moment where you're just like, oh, and what in that moment would you have wanted from each other, from me, from views, from comments, from like what do you think would have motivated you at that time that things dropped?
So it's me first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. I feel like there were days when we had these kind of moments. Like, I might lose my motivation, vice versa, on everyone else's end. But I feel like ways that we could have overcome and triumph from that is if we all had proper communication. I think we said this off camera, we had a meeting a few times and stuff. Because energy transfers very quickly. So obviously, whatever you're going through, I don't know about, it's only going to have a knock-on effect on me thinking why she's acting towards me the way she is. Obviously, if you explain it to me and communicate with me clear-cut from the beginning, it would help me to come down to your level a bit more. I can only provide you with a softer landing and understanding how you feel about whatever it is you're going through. I feel like I said that multiple times, and we've done it. Obviously, at first when you become business partners and stuff, it's in the beginning, it's like you have to. Everything's very vulnerable, so you have to like build that trust, that sense of trust, at a steady pace. So I feel like ultimately just communication. That's what it was for me. But anytime I feel like I'm at those deep kind of moments, me losing my motivations and stuff, because it happens only human.
Yeah.
I have to just find motivation. I don't know what it is, but it depends on how I'm feeling at the time. I can't really give you like a specific one, but in any moments I have to find what it is to motivate me, just to kickstart me back up again. And then, but I don't really soak over the negative stuff. Like, if we put a podcast and it doesn't get 100 views, because it's still a step towards having good content.
Yeah.
Because like, even if it's on 90, if 70% of people have viewed it out of that 90, rated it, it's still a plus,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's me.
That makes sense.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I think as much as I get demotivated speaking to either of you, because the show still must go on, I kind of do find the motivation. And the thing that I love about us is that we have good chemistry in terms of we know when something's off.
Facts.
So we'll text and we're like, you okay? Like, we won't do it in the group chat.
I think
we'll text. We understand, yeah. And it's like, we know if something's happening and we'll text. And even though, like, if things aren't explained at that time, we'll still get on, or we'll actually do more because we know that, okay, this person's either having a bad day or bad week or a bad season or time. So, like, let's step in and do what they're meant to do. And that's definitely something that I love about us. That we have that type of chemistry where your silence, or your, as Aaliyah would call it, your attitude doesn't affect it. Sorry?
Yeah. No, go on, sorry.
Talk with your chest.
No, I was going to speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said something like,
sorry, D, sorry. No, you know why? Because these two always bully me all the time.
And I was just about to say, it's you that bullies. I was just about to say, why are you always bullying?
I'm so innocent,
It's not. Leah, I'm the one that's always bullying you and him. Both of them.
No, you two get at each other.
I'll put a link sometimes.
Do you know what it is, yeah? They've shared the same birthday. They're literally like two peas in a pod. Honestly. Like,
I only found this out like 3 weeks ago.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you
You told me that last month, but it's my birthday.
No, it wasn't 3
This
weeks
was like-
ago. This was
September?
like 3 months
No, it must have
ago.
been September.
No, it was
No.
literally like the first month of us getting to
Exactly.
getting to.
You're forgetting.
What?
Wow. Anyway, bye.
Anyway, but what I love about my team,
My mind's also, sorry.
what I love about my team is that we have that chemistry, and if someone's off, if someone's got an attitude, it's not taken personal. We just run with it, and then we talk about it after, because life happens, you know. And I think people don't really talk about that when it comes to business partnerships. Like, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be open. And I think that we've done that from the very beginning. And I love that for us. And I want us to keep doing that.
I mean, that ain't gonna stop on my part.
Hey. Well, no, let me not.
Whatever that was.
No, whatever that was. Okay, I hear that. So, do you know what? I secretly forgot what I bloody asked you.
Demotivating.
Oh yeah, demotivating time. Yeah, on my part, a demotivating time has probably just been my health, and when my health affects my mood, and I can't show up for you guys in terms of showing up as a leader and the motivator and the person to like steer the ship, right? When I can't do that because I don't feel it for whatever reason, that really irks me. Like, and I think that's something that you're gonna start feeling now that you're building your team in your own business. And Duanney, when you're ready to start building your team, like, it's something that, I mean, you two, I know your characters, so I know that it will affect you as well. Like, if you can't show up for your team members and for the people that's working with you, I know that you guys will feel it, right? So I think it's a really important thing to hone in on, and that's honing on transparency, because that's exactly the reason why I knew coming into this that sometimes I'm not going to be able to show up as a leader because I'm navigating my way through my own life and I'm navigating my way through my own healing from certain situations that I've gone through in the past. So in my head, if I'm trying to show up consistently, but I know that I'm still healing from something else, and I don't show up, you guys are going to be left in the lurch essentially, because you're not going to understand why I've dropped off the face of the earth and I haven't responded to a message, or you're not going to understand or even know or even respect me for the simple fact that you're like, well, hold on a minute. And these are obviously things that I'm kind of assuming, but I know that I would feel a certain type of way. If I've got a boss, in my head, if I've got a boss, I expect that boss to tell me what to do, right? I expect my day to be laid out. If I was in a 9 to 5, my day would be laid out. As soon as you know what you need to be doing, you're supposed to be doing that job, right? Like clockwork. If for some odd reason your manager doesn't turn up and that day's work is like, oh, well, what do we do? And there is no clockwork, because it's like, oh, we don't have an agenda for the day, right? When that happens, and that, for me, on my side, I knew that was a potential to happen because I'm navigating through my own life. So I had to be honest with myself and say, yes, I want to be a leader, and yes, I want to motivate you guys consistently. However, I know my capacity. If you're enjoying this podcast so far, this is only going to annoy you if you're a hater. Click subscribe, click follow, and drop a quick comment. And if you've done all of those already, then send me a 5-star review, because honestly, it's the only way we survive on the internet. Thank you. Right? And my capacity at this point in time is, this podcast needs to start. However, I'm not going to be able to constantly lead you the way that you probably expect me to.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm not transparent with you from the jump, and then halfway through, 6 months down the line, I start moving sideways, and you're like, now you would have, in my head, you're going to lose motivation to the point of, well, I'm not going to do this, because you know when everybody starts a new project, everyone's on job and it's exciting and it's this and it's that. Right, exactly. Yeah. And then when honeymoon period kind of dies down and momentum drops, it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, you kind of, have you ever gone through one of them situations where you start something and literally it could be 3-4 months down the line and it's like, you will stop calling each other. Like you literally just stop talking to each other completely. and then you start thinking all kinds of things, and then they start thinking all kinds of things, and then you see each other randomly, you're like, awkward. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
that's happened so many times as a younger person.
Yeah.
And I just knew that could be a potential, and I was like, I'm not down for that. So I've got to be honest and transparent from the beginning as to where I'm at and as to what my capacity is, which I think is a massive lesson in building a team, period, because it's crucial to build a team, right? But it's also crucial that you don't have this kind of facade, this macho boss status constantly, because when you're not there, you're not there.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And you're forcing it, and then your mental health deteriorates because you're not trying to force it, and then it's just a bloody spiral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
Someone else said to me the other day, it was weird. I was at a drinks day, and he just poured out his heart. And bear in mind, we didn't really.
Pardon the pun.
Only you would catch it.
Only you do.
We didn't really kind of communicate in such level of detail beforehand. But for some odd reason, we ended up in a conversation, and he started basically saying to me that he doesn't understand why. Like, he's annoyed with his team because his team's not doing X, Y, and Z. He's got a small team as well, but his team's not doing X, Y, and Z, and he has to kind of like pick up the slack. But then it's like, in his head, he's given them the responsibility to do it. So then now he's overwhelmed. But it all boiled down to the fact that he was actually keeping something from them that they probably needed to know. And by the end of it, he told me what that was, and I was like, no, your team needs to fucking know this. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a boss or CEO if you tell them the truth, because at the end, you're not an avatar. You're not. You know what I mean? You're human. You're not some effect on the TV that, and do you know what I mean? Like that doesn't break down sometimes. And yeah, that was like a kind of an eye-opening moment for me, because I thought, oh, there's actually a lot of people out here that move sideways because they want to show face.
100%. A lot of people even say things that they don't mean, in terms of they say one thing but they're not really about it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, yeah, like as she said, you a lot of people show face because of the titles that they're carrying, but you're human. It's okay to be human, to be kind of thing.
Sometimes shit don't work.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Sometimes your mum pisses you off. Sometimes your partner pisses you off. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes your kids are running around and doing your head in. Like,
That's only normal.
For real.
It's like, what did you expect from me, mate? You want me to show up every day? Shut up, man.
No.
It's hard to keep a poker face every day, you know.
No.
Yo, Instagram bitches.
Yeah, they're good at doing that though.
I don't know how they do
Full
it.
of facade though, but yeah, I'm not really too deep into it.
Yeah, right. Like, King ain't the one that comes with, oh, did you see this? Did you see what happened?
I'm in the know.
That's you.
It's my
That's
job,
you and the
bro.
team.
You know what it is? It's not even me sometimes. I wake up in the morning.
And you get notifications.
Yeah, I'm just looking, what's all this? And then, one thing leads to another, and then scrolling. And then I take my mind to it. I'm thinking, this is crazy. I don't delve too deep into it though. Like, when I think it's just nonsense information, it's not worth my time. Like, it's not making money.
Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense on social media right now. Well, not really nonsense, but we could see better stuff. I actually follow, and this is not a shout, I'm not getting paid for this, but I actually follow this Instagram page called Positive News, and I actually look forward to their posts. It's a lot of like stories on on their page that really uplifts you. It just makes my day, like different stories. That is just, so it depends on what side you are on Instagram. Like a lot of us, our business pages, our feed is not the same on our business pages with our personal pages.
I get what you mean by that.
There's so many sides to Instagram.
Do you know mine is kind of similar? Mine is actually quite similar, and I've tried to differentiate it, but it doesn't seem to happen. It's like everything on both pages.
Yeah.
It's something to do with business. It's something to do with like.
It's an algorithm, isn't it?
It's an algorithm and
Yeah,
the people
what
that
you
you
like
follow.
following, people that you
Yeah.
follow, what they like as well.
But when you first start, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much what's a baby. You just got to mold it into what you want to see. But it's weird sometimes when, yeah, you know, you're just scrolling on Amazon. I was in Mercury 3.0, scrolling on Amazon, looking at this new
Web 3.0.
Yeah, looking at this new toy, whatever. And you scroll on the Instagram, you see it on the spot, you're thinking, what?
How do they know?
How do they know? How do they know? But, you know, it's one of those.
Yeah.
I hear that. So, what is happening in your lives outside of the Promisingpreneur?
Phylisia?
Oh wow. Okay, I'm an octopus, man. I juggle a lot of stuff.
Oh, explain it, you know, I get it.
This is what I'm talking about. Where did you do that?
Banter.
No, but not on camera, man.
Banter.
He did. I'm an octopus because I juggle a lot of different stuff, So being a mother is my number one. So, you know, Mariah is now 2, going on to 3. It saddens my heart because she's growing so much. She knows how to say her ABCs. She's telling me no. She's very picky with her food now. You know, she doesn't want the peas and the rice anymore, or she prefers the peas without that. Yeah, just a lot of that stuff. Yeah, but it's great. I just love motherhood. I got a new team member. She's amazing. She handles digital marketing for me, other side of the business, so that helps me to expand, because obviously I've found out that just because you don't like doing a particular thing in business doesn't mean that you have to do it.
True.
And I only realised that now that I have someone, and I actually had that conversation with her. I was like, listen, this is my weak point. I don't like it. And she loves it. Like, she's just like, yeah, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'm like, okay.
I don't relate.
What do I do now?
Kind of thing. But and I was speaking to her like yesterday, and I was just like, you know, we were talking about, you know, her issues. And this is the thing, like, again, you have to be a person. You have to be a person when you're a leader, because it's either something's happening in your life or something's happening in your team member's life. So she was telling me a few things about, you know, some of the work that she does. And she was like, yeah, Phylisia, I just want me and you to get this off the ground. And I'm like, you've put pressure on me now. Because she's saying she's now dependent on me to get the clients, to get her.
It's only pressure if you make the pressure now.
Yeah, but it's just, I've never had that before. So having a team member be like, so excited, but she's ready to run and she's ready to, and I'm like tiptoeing because this is not my field. I don't really like doing this, but she's trusting me to get her the client so she can do what she loves to do best. So it's kind of like, you know, and I actually said it, I actually wrote in my journal for my birthday, and I said, you know, because every year when it's my birthday, I give myself like a word, and I said, this year, 20 Great, is the year of leadership. So now I'm really listening to things that helps me, like how can I be a good leader now? Because I know that I've always had leadership in me, but now that I'm in it, I'm like, what do I do? And I just feel like, no, Phylisia, still continue being yourself, but I'm investing in myself with knowledge and understanding. So and also learning from you as well, and how you handle us, actually. So yeah, that. What else is happening? Starting a new project with BAU Studios.
With you, sir?
BAU Studios. Okay. They are an amazing co-working lounge space in Beckenham. We're going to have something called Content Evenings.
Oh,
so yeah.
Okay.
So basically, if you're an entrepreneur, an influencer, whoever you are, and you're stuck on creating content, if you just come down every other week, it's every 2 weeks. It's starting next week Wednesday.
Fun.
We help you create content for you. So we have set designers, we have photographers, videographers. I do the strategy sessions. for, you know, those that come to help them with their social media, their marketing, their branding and everything. So that's great. Also, I'm a co-host now of a social networking club called the Vibe Club. Is a vibe. Yeah, that was just so amazing. I've co-host with Beverly, and that's a co-working social networking event that happens the first Wednesday of every month in Lee High Road in Lewisham. So what happens is, again, if you have a small business, start a business, whatever your business is, you don't even have to have a business. You can be a student, you could be a 9-to-5er. You just come down, network with other people, socially, and also co-work is a time to co-work together as well. So if you need to work on your business and you need that motivation, you come down, and of course there's cocktails there, so you can have a cup of cocktail, and you've got food there. So it's just an amazing time. So I'm doing that. And then, fingers crossed, we don't really like to speak things before it happens, but, you know, I only sit with winners, so I know I'm going to win on this. But I had a meeting with my second corporate client this year. Yesterday evening, had a meeting with a second round meeting with some of the other directors. So fingers crossed they'll be my clients for 2023. Actually, they want to start at the end of this year. But yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, they're going to be my clients. I like that. Yeah. So and of course I've got the Promisingpreneur podcast, and I'm not going anywhere. This is a baby that I share with these two awesome people. So yeah, that's what's going on.
There's a lot happening.
It's way too much, You're making my last one boring. I'm not really doing as much as you're doing. But yeah.
No, but yeah, that's what it is.
Love it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about getting your first, was it you said 2 corporate clients?
So this would be my second one. So it's nerve-wracking because it's this is the thing, I'm a social bee, you know that. So I'm always networking socially, and Facebook groups. Listen, do not sleep on Facebook groups.
I've heard about the community over there.
What? Yeah. Facebook groups is a vibe, like, especially if you want to get like international connects, clients.
100%.
Yeah, Facebook groups, do not sleep on Facebook groups, you know.
Also,
because
Facebook fan pages right now, the algorithms of Facebook fan pages apparently are as high as YouTube Shorts at the moment. So,
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I always feel like Facebook's for the older generation now.
You know what? Yeah,
but
no,
you'll
but
be very
keep
surprised.
Keep it. It's really good. I went to an event. I was helping a friend out. She had a food stall. Have you guys ever heard of Comic Con?
I've heard of that.
I've never heard of it. What? Where do I live? Maybe, because I went to this place on Friday.
Are you into comics and stuff like that?
No, but it's a big. So it happened at Excel, London Excel. You know, they had every room. I'm like, how much is Excel getting just for this? And it's a 3-day event. So you know.
Serious money.
Like, these people, I said, did these people come on the train like that? Like, people went all out costumes. I never ever knew about Comic Con. So that was an eye-opener. And I'm looking to, I'm eyeing it a bit. Random, but sorry, I had to. The reason why is,
Comic-Con, like.
The reason why is the thousands of people that went through that room, I want a store next year. So, I want a store, a food store. Yeah. So I'm going to start, no, not Caribbean food, desserts.
Okay, cool.
Or something like that. Because I saw those people and all I saw was dollar signs. Not dollar signs, pound. Pound signs. All I saw was pound signs. And I'm like, I can monetize off this. Honestly. So you guys get your chef hats because you guys are going to be helping me next year.
Really, yeah? I mean, I'm a good cook, but I'm not into the baking.
You don't need to bake. You be the sales.
Send me the formula. I'll make it work. Actually, you know what? I'll be in sales.
You'll be in sales.
I'll do my lyrics.
Both you going to be in sales, I'll be at the back.
Yeah, you need to be at the front selling it, actually.
No, you guys. Aahliyah at the front.
Got you. I got you.
It was like, please.
Cakes ain't nothing, boy. Leave me to it. You know.
I'm still waiting for that food that you said that you're going to cook us.
I was going to say my water, but I don't know. Trying to avoid that. Alright.
You owe us.
Yeah, I got you. What was it, rice?
What? Rice.
Rice.
What else?
Rice.
Gonna give us
mac
dry
and-
rice?
Mac and cheese, not dry
Nah,
rice,
it was
no.
that pineapple prawn thing.
Oh yes.
I won't bring it in the pineapple though.
No, it has to be in a pineapple. What's the point?
Exactly.
Alright, cool, I'll bring it. I'll season it well. Yeah, my spare time I like to cook sometimes. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
a good cook. But it's just a hobby.
Get him a gal.
Your turn now.
Go.
Nothing.
But my life has been boring, you know. I don't really do much other than
Now talk about your thing, that music video.
Yeah, I shot with the landlord.
Huh?
That was the landlord, aka Gigs. That's what they call him.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
That Gigs, aka the landlord.
Oh.
But that was a good experience. Hella mileage, and they went from city to city, Birmingham, Walsall, flipping, we came all the way down to London again.
Wow.
Didn't get home till like maybe 5 a.m. But it was a very good experience. A dope video.
In a whole day?
Yeah, one day, yeah.
So why did you
no,
go?
It was a 2-part day actually, tell her that. Went from Birmingham, London, Essex, back to London again. In 2 parts back to back. It's a very trippy video. It's SMB featuring Gigs.
Is it out?
It's coming out in January, I believe. So I think they just saw like 1s and 2s of like the engineering to the songs and whatnot. But yeah, it was a good experience to meet him, interact with him. Actually tell him what to do, move here, move there. You know. That was dope. Look out for it. That's a good video. I had a little team with me, little drone for it, and a little gaffer here and there. But you know, it's a dope video.
Fun.
Other than that, I've just been learning. Well, you might not find it interesting, but I find it interesting. I've just been learning new ways new edit styles, new techniques.
I do find that interesting.
Do you?
Yeah.
You like the Comic Con stuff now, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. Doing those kind of stuff. I've also been literally stocking up on like financial literacy because I feel like I'm lacking in certain avenues. I need to tighten up a bit. So I need to get into that. I'm trying to teach myself some new hobbies as well. So I feel like I don't feel like I've mastered everything, but I feel like I'm stagnant to the point where I need to teach myself something new to keep me going again. So maybe it's like I don't know, swimming or a new sport, or learning a new software like I said previously, or even like tapping into baking now.
Yeah?
I like it. Yeah.
What have you baked?
Like cakes and cupcakes and you know like brownies and stuff, all from scratch. I don't use no cake mixes and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's about it really. Other than that, for the most part.
So
Plain and simple and you know.
elevating yourself, I love that.
Literally only that, because I mean elevation is key, right?
Indeed it is. I love that. Well, our time's up because I've got a meeting.
It's a very short episode though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
But
Initially, did we get to talk about 6-figure deals yet?
Oh my god.
Let me
Don't mind
a
it.
tenner though, please.
Tenner?
Oh, sorry, I meant it. My bad.
Ted is the new grand, isn't it?
Yeah, literally.
No, I mean, I said that I wanted. All right, are you right? Are you right? Honestly, the team dynamics is just.
Oh, that's alright. Yeah, good.
I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to ask you those questions because I know you guys were like, oh, what are we going to talk about?
Got more heard than
Yeah,
me.
that,
You know.
no, but I actually wasn't expecting that. That's not nice, man. You didn't even
I
prep
think it
us.
flowed nicely.
What do you mean that's not nice?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for those questions.
But that was the point.
Well, you
It was
answered them
supposed to be
well,
your truth.
Oh, thank
I
you.
think it's better when you're not prepared because everything's not really staged.
But
Yeah.
that is the essence of this podcast. though, isn't
Exactly,
it?
it's not
Yeah.
staged. Yeah.
We don't do staged.
No scripts.
I mean, I don't.
No.
You know me already. I don't do well with scripts, so I end up skipping words
notes.
or I start.
She said the shots at you. I'm the old nuts.
Okay,
Make me waste my
alright.
time.
Look,
Not
I'll be
feeling
honest.
nothing.
There's a part of me that think like I'm definitely either ADHD, on the spectrum of autism, and dyslexic. Okay. Don't look at me like that because it's God's the honest truth. There's some things that just doesn't function correctly in my brain, right?
Makes sense.
Why does it make sense?
No, I mean, obviously, if it makes sense for her, then it makes sense. I get what you're saying.
Basically, he's saying, yeah, you're.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that. You said it, not me, but.
You confirmed.
So this is.
I'm not really involved. I just come here eating my Snickers and I go.
This is. Thanks, guys. I'm being vulnerable here, and you guys are just mocking me.
Sorry.
But no, yeah, I needed you lot to be real, and a part of being real is being spontaneous. And because the answer could be, I don't know, and that is a viable answer as well. So I'm going to leave it at that. Like, your truth is your truth at the end of the day. And if you are unable to be authentic with the people around you, and you can't be human around the people around you, then they're probably not worth being in your life. Like, it's that real. And that's something that I've learned over the past few months, is if my truth is too much for you, then it's not your time to be around me.
Let's go.
Wow. So thank you on that note. I love you both with all my heart.
Likewise.
Say I love you.
Love you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I wanna encourage you both to keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing amazing things individually and within this team. There's been 1 or 2 times where this podcast wouldn't have come out on that Wednesday if they didn't step up. So I want to acknowledge that, and I want to make sure
I was going to ask my flowers, but it's not there.
Oh
it's a money tree.
That's not really count, though.
No, it does. I'll take it.
Yeah, take it, yeah?
I'll take my flower.
What about my tree?
Okay.
Look, you're killing the tree, dog.
I'm like 100 racks.
Anyway, we're done.
We're done.
Thank you for listening, and be sure to subscribe, like, comment, all of the good stuff, because that's what we need.
That was smooth.
Peace out. You was just listening to the Promisingpreneur podcast. I am Aahliyah Amerat, and thank you so much for listening all the way through. Don't forget to click subscribe and share to at least one person, because that's the only thing that's going to fuel us to carry on.